Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. I am so excited about today because I am participating in a thrift flip mystery box challenge. So I was sent a mystery box with 3 thrift flip items in there that I have to flip and give a makeover to. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would consider doing so. And if you like what you see, I always love if you click that thumbs up. So let's get started. So the package that I received was from Brandy at the DIY Struggle. So let's have a look at what she sent me. She sent me this little recipe holder, I'm assuming is what it is. Very like late 80s, early 90s vibe going on here. And at first I thought this was kind of like the recipe card index that went in here. So I was a little bit confused at this, but you know, I kind of figured out in the end that this was a separate item. But anyhow, so there's no way that I don't even know how she fit it in there. I couldn't get it back in there if I tried. So the cute little house recipe holder there's that painting on that little box, and I realized, oh, there's a lid. This is a separate little box on its own. And then I have this cute little half pail tin bucket thing. It's tin, has the word faith across it, so definitely not my style. She also sent me some cute little napkins, you can see there, because she loves to decoupage, and so she sent some of those to me in case I wanted to use those, and some others. I don't use any of them in today's video. I do decoupage, but not with the napkins. But so I'm just trying to look over these items. I'm looking at this little recipe holder there, wondering what on earth I'm going to do with that. I immediately know what I'm going to do with this little tin basket here, so that one I'm excited about. And then also this little box, I'm kind of really like, I don't one of those things that I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I definitely need to sit here and stare at these items for a few days. One of these items stares at me for days, and I literally end up having nightmares over it because I could not figure out what to do with it. Can you guys maybe guess which one it was? Anyway, let's get started here and figure out what we're going to do with all this. So I take this white chalk spray paint from Krylon, and I'm just going to use this on this little half basket that we have here. This basket was, I don't even know how to describe the color that it was. It was not yellow, it was not green, but it was just, I don't know if it had faded over time. It was just not good, whatever it was. So we're gonna make it white and all nice and clean. I also have this cute little pumpkin decal that came off of another item that I got at the thrift store that I thought I could incorporate this in there because I'm wanting these all to kind of have a fall feel to them. So I'm just making sure. I probably should have sanded the face to begin with to get it to go away. I ended up having to maybe like 4 or 5 coats of paint to get that thing covered up. But anyhow, you just do your best, get it all the way covered up. I'm just going to use some Waverly chalk paint to give it the pumpkin color, and then I believe I use moss on the stem. So I am taking a little bit of Waverly's antiquing wax and a little stencil brush, whatever kind of brush you have will work, to just kind of dry brush around the edges. This is just going to give a little bit of dimension to this pumpkin, help it kind of stand out, look a little farmhouse. I also take my emery board and kind of go around the edges also. With what was left of the antiquing wax in my little stencil brush, I do just go around the edges and those little flower details on this little tin basket. And since it is tin, I do just kind of take my emery board here, any sandpaper, anything, kind of rough it up to kind of just really give it a little bit of a beat up kind of look. And then I'm just trying to play around to make sure that this pumpkin really will cover up the word faith there. I have no problem with the word faith, but I, again, was just trying to go for a fall feel to everything. So I thought it would be kind of a cute thing to put it there to cover that up. So I have this pumpkin. You guys might have seen these at Dollar Tree this year. They had a bunch of them with a bunch of different letters on them. So I just grabbed one, and I'm looking at this thinking, this basket fits right over that letter completely. And I don't know, I thought this looked really cute on here. So what I'm going to do is just glue that little pumpkin down there to cover the wording, and then the handle will kind of come down over the top of it, and then I'm just going to glue the back of this basket onto this pumpkin. A little antiquing wax is what I'm using here to cover up a little spot that came off when I took the little raffia bow off the top of that pumpkin. And now I'm just taking various fall floral picks that I have, most from Dollar Tree. I think a couple of these came from Walmart, and I'm just going to arrange them in this little basket till I feel like it looks good. So you can just use whatever kinds, whatever colors until you feel that it looks good. After I'm done playing around with the florals there, I am going to make a little hanging feature on the back here, so I will be able to hang this. So I just tie a knot in each end of the twine and then just use a little bit of hot glue to secure this on there, so that way I will be able to hang it. So this is just a reminder of what we started with. This is what the item looked like, and now we're going to look at what it looks like now. I actually think this turned out really, really cute. I feel like I improved it. What do you guys think? I think this was a really good flip, and I am happy with how this one turned out. If you are enjoying watching these thrift flips, I am so excited to share this collaboration with you. Check out my description box below to all of these wonderful videos that these other creators have done. I am doing this with Brandy from the DIY Struggle, Liz from the Official Craft Nerd, and Angela from Angela Jones DIY. And guys, they are all amazing. You are not going to be disappointed. You are definitely going to want to see what each of them got in their mystery boxes. Like I said, I'll have a link to all of their videos down in my description box. I sent my box over to Liz, and I am so excited to see what she's done with the items that I sent her. So as you can see in the upper left hand corner there, that is the box that I am working with that Brandy sent me. But of course, I chose not to hit record on my camera while I got to this point and realized, oh no. So I have this little pumpkin that is also from a thrift store that I am going to incorporate with this item here. So of course it was not the colors that I wanted, so I am just going to go ahead and paint the pumpkin, just using my Waverly chalk paint to get it into the colors that I would like to use. Okay, so now I'm going to wipe this box down really good. I mean, I wipe everything down, but I'm just showing her that I'm wiping it down really good because we're going to paint over this box entirely. But before I do that, I don't sand this down or anything, so I am just putting some Mod Podge all the way around. Honestly, I don't know why I didn't sand it down to begin with. I think it was just because I probably didn't have any sandpaper with me, and I didn't really want to get up and walk out to my garage to get any, and my emery board wouldn't be able to do all that. So I'm just putting a lot of Mod Podge all over it, thinking that would stop any bleed through that I might have, because this is a really dark wood on here that I'm sure is stained with something that would potentially bleed through. So I'm just coating it with Mod Podge. It's a satin finish that I had. I just thought this would be the best way. Give it a try and see if it works, and so far it actually worked really well. So after the Mod Podge completely dries, I take some chalk paint. I'm just using Waverly's Plaster Color, and I'm covering the lid of the box and the outside. I don't touch the inside at all. I just leave it. It was the outside had a really good kind of like smooth finish, like it had been sealed with something already. And then of course I put the Mod Podge on it. The inside was very like rough wood. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I really wanted to paint the inside. I kind of felt like that was going to be a little bit more of a hassle. I don't know. Anyway, so I just do about 2 or 3 coats of the Waverly chalk paint all over this. So I take my pumpkin that I have completely covered in my choice of colors, and I am just taking some antiquing wax and going around and distressing this, giving it that little bit of farmhouse charm. So I hope this just inspires you to know that you can take any type of piece that you look at that is not the colors that you would choose at the thrift store and make it your own. I mean, paint is so easy, so inexpensive, and so simple to kind of customize it to how you would do it. So after I give this a complete little once over with the antiquing wax and distress it, then I will be hot gluing it to the lid of this box. I just kind of eyeball it to get it as even and level as I can. And then I do take my little emery board and some antiquing wax, and I go around and just focus on all of the corners and edges of the box and of the lid. The lid kind of has a little bit of detail on it, so I really pay attention to those areas just to give this that really rustic, primitive kind of feel. So I add a little bit of embellishment. I make a little raffia bow. I also have a box of little wooden leaves from Hobby Lobby that I go ahead and hot glue just one of the red ones onto it. So you'll be able to see that a little bit better in the final reveal here. But I just thought that kind of added some little cuteness to it. So here's a reminder of what the box looked like to begin with. So not too bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? This is the transformation. I love this. It does fit like index size cards in it. So I don't know what I will put in here, if anything, but I definitely think that sitting on a tiered tray or something, this is darling. I think this flip turned out really good too. What do you guys think of this one? Don't forget that I'm on Instagram also. I love to meet new Insta friends, so I would love for you to come over and say hi, check out my page, and see all the latest projects that I'm working on. I'll be sure and leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. If you've made it this far in the video, you have made it to this cute little recipe box that has literally given me nightmares for days. I literally thought this would be one of the easier projects out of everything that was sent to me, but oh, how we can be deceived. So I pop off that front little box there because I just thought it kind of, it's just very, very dated looking. So I popped that off thinking I was going to make some type of planter or something out of this. So it had these lovely little staples in it afterwards, and I really just had to figure out how I was going to get rid of these. And if I couldn't reach my hand in there to get them out from behind, so I'm using my hammer, and oh, look, it breaks. So I can't do a planter without that front piece of wood. So, and they were, those little staples were so sharp, so they had to go. So I obviously didn't realize that, I apparently have a very heavy hand when it comes to a hammer. So I'm taking those off, and I'm just going to get rid of this little swinging lid part, because honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So the bottom came out, and I think it just kind of slides in and out, but you can see me there like, I don't know what what am I going to do with this? So now I'm kind of thinking like, well, I could maybe make like a little hanging candle holder or something. So literally at this point, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I'm just winging it here, thinking something's got to come to me. So you see a lot of me sitting there going, huh. The front, after that little piece came off the front, is very unfinished there. So I'm thinking, well, if I have some craft sticks, maybe I can put some craft sticks to make it look a little bit more finished. And the more I'm looking at these, I'm like, these just look, they don't look good. They just look dumb. So, and then as I'm kind of playing with this, it cracks. So this is coming off now too. So I'm taking this side of it off. And then of course I can't just leave it with one side, so I've got to take the other side off. And those nails were freaking long that were in there. Yeah. So I have to take this side off, so I'm prying it out and it comes off there. So now I'm literally like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, does the little flippy thing that was the lid, does it fit in here? Guys, at this point I wanted to just give up and cry. Kind of looks like a cutting board. That little heart was, I just don't love it. It's just dated looking, and that's fine. Everybody kind of went through this phase in like the 90s and the 80s, but I'm just kind of over it, and I really didn't want that look. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can cover it up with a pumpkin. So I cut a pumpkin in half, and it for the most part, maybe like 96% covers up the heart. And so I'm like, maybe that's good enough. So I get out my plaster and I have this ridge in the bottom. So at this point I'm thinking I'm going to make like a pumpkin patch sign or something. I mean, still guys, I have literally no idea what I'm doing. I mean, if you look, you can see that I've drawn like other shapes on these, thinking maybe I was going to cut stuff out. I'm still trying to piece things together going, I don't know what to do. But I have this genius thought of, I think one of those crates might fit. Ta-da! I was so excited. I mean, I literally was like, oh yes, yay. Okay, I think I have a direction I'm going now. So I'm just taking my moss paint, I watered it down a little bit, and I'm just gonna give this box a little bit of a green stained look. And then I just do this all over the box to get it completely covered. And then I do go in with a little bit of antiquing wax and antique it. So I feel like I'm in my groove at this point. You know, if I'm talking about distressing and antiquing wax, that I have kind of found my confidence, got my bearings, I know what I'm doing, and I feel like I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win with this project. So I take a little bit of the white paint, actually I think it's plaster, and I'm going to cover the entire back of this and all of that blue, just kind of make all of that stuff that's been staring at me for days go away and just completely start with a blank slate, so to speak. I take some of these little pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I've also seen them like one similar to this at Hobby Lobby, but they're very bright orange. And so I wanted to kind of make it match the rest of my fall decor that I've been doing. So I just add a little bit of that pumpkin chalk paint onto each of them. And then I realized that I'm gonna need to come up with something else other than that other pumpkin to cover that little heart with. So I have this little round disc. It came in a little bag of wooden shapes that I bought at Hobby Lobby. So I'm just giving it the same treatment as I did the basket. And as you can see in the basket there, I did just put a little bit of Spanish moss down in there. Well, I'm not sure that that's Spanish moss or if it's some kind of moss that I bought at Dollar Tree. And I did hot glue a little piece of floral foam into the bottom there so I can stick these pumpkins into it. But I just go ahead and glue that little round disc over that country heart and it's gone forever, guys. So, and then I do have this little, this is from the back side of one of the Dollar Tree calendars. I just cut out those little pumpkins and I just used some decoupage to get those on there to give it that little bit of fall feel. I thought that looked super cute. And then I'm going to give it a little bit more distressing now that I've got it on there. And we're just gonna hot glue this little basket to the bottom of this. So I just cut each of the little sticks on the end of these pumpkins down, and then I just stick them into that floral foam that I have glued into the bottom there and just kind of arrange them until I feel like everything looks good there. I have this little bit of eucalyptus. I believe it came from Walmart. It's just, you know, the kind of plasticky feeling. But anyway, I go ahead and take it and glue a little leaf onto each pumpkin, kind of add a little greenery, kind of look like a little bit of, you know, a pumpkin leaf is what I'm going for, I guess. But I do realize after I get all that done that I'm like, this really is kind of missing something. So I just kind of break apart the little stems on that eucalyptus and kind of stick them in all over just to kind of soften it and bring a little bit of greenery in, kind of hopefully give it the look of maybe like a little bit of a pumpkin patch. I don't know, I think it turns out really cute. I end up liking it how it is. So this is just a reminder of what this thing looked like before. Guys, I literally have had like 3 or 4 dreams about this piece. Like, and I shouldn't say dreams, I should say nightmares. It is going to haunt me in my sleep for days. Okay, all kidding aside, I really like how this came out. I think it turned out super cute, super fun. It does have that little bit of the country heart on the back of it still, so I would be able to like hang it from a nail or a hook on the wall if I wanted to, or just sitting up like this. But what do you guys think of this? I mean, for this piece giving me all of the trouble that it did, I really feel like I kind of won and I feel like I conquered it. What are your thoughts? I had so much fun creating all of these. Okay, well, I mean, I really did. The one kind of gave me a run for my money and I really wanted to like cry for a little bit there, but it ended up okay. I think it turned out all right. I honestly don't think that I could pick a favorite out of these. I think they all turned out really good. I'm so excited to get to use them with all of my fall decor this year. If you have a favorite, I would love to know down in the comments what yours favorite would be. Also, click those links in my description box and go see what mystery items were sent to the other crafters and what they did with their thrift flips. It's going to be extremely entertaining and a lot of fun, so definitely check that out. If you like this video, remember to give it a like, and if you liked what you saw here, remember to subscribe. And as always, be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.